Ukraine is being rained by fab bombs again and again. Not just in one sector, not just in isolated moments, but in a relentless series of strikes that keep shaking the front lines day after day. From Donetsk to Zaporizhia, from Kharkov to Konstantinovka, massive explosions have erupted across Ukrainian positions as Russia's Air Force unleashes a new wave of guided fab bomb attacks. These are not ordinary munitions. They are bunker-crushing, building-shattering weapons that leave behind nothing but smoke-filled craters and stunned silence. And this past week may have been one of the most destructive yet. Let's walk through the latest wave of attacks. This new phase of bombardment opened on November 26th, deep in Zaporizhia, where Russian aircraft dropped a Fab 500 with UMPK wings onto Ukrainian positions entrenched inside multi-story buildings in Huliaipole. Russian assault troops had been inching closer to the town, and the bomb served as the opener, the kind of strike used specifically to tear open hardened defenses. The explosion didn't just damage the buildings, it folded them inward, sending debris rolling across the streets. 24 hours later, on November 27th, Huliaipole was hit again. Russian pilots launched another salvo of fab bombs onto Ukrainian positions believed to be reinforcing the battered town. The repetition wasn't accidental. Russia was clearly preparing the ground for a breakthrough, softening Ukrainian trenches, tunnels, and firing points long before the infantry moved. Then came November 28th, a day that delivered two significant blows. In Huliaipole, aviation footage captured yet another fab strike tearing through defensive positions. The increasing frequency made it clear that Russia intends to punch through this sector sooner rather than later. Analysts warn that these systematic bombings often precede a major ground push, and Huliaipole now sits squarely in the danger zone. But the second strike on the same day happened far from Zaporizhia. Up north in the Kharkov region, Russian aircraft dropped a fab bomb on a Ukrainian UAV control center in Vilcha. This was no ordinary outpost. It coordinated reconnaissance drones that monitored Russian troop concentrations. The strike wiped out communications gear, operators, and surveillance equipment in a single detonation. For Ukrainian forces, this created a sudden blind spot in one of the most active sectors of the war. The pattern was emerging. Russia was eliminating eyes, ammunition, and coordination structures, one bomb at a time. A day ahead, on November 29th, Russian warplanes dropped a guided fab bomb onto a major Ukrainian ammunition depot in Konstantinovka. Moments after impact, the depot erupted in a massive fireball, sending a towering column of smoke into the sky. The explosion was so powerful that it triggered a chain of secondary detonations, artillery shells, rockets, mortar rounds, all cooking off in rapid succession. The blast lit up the night sky and could be heard for kilometers. Videos from nearby towns captured shockwaves rattling windows. Local reports described the detonation as one of the largest seen in the region this month. This wasn't a small cache of ammunition. It was a large supply hub feeding multiple Ukrainian brigades operating in the Donetsk direction. The destruction of such a depot forces Ukrainian units to redistribute surviving ammunition, relocate remaining stocks, and manage a sudden drop in available firepower. In a war where artillery supply remains decisive, one fab bomb erased thousands of rounds in a single hit. And the strikes didn't stop there. On December 1st, Russia opened the new month with another high-value strike, this time on a Ukrainian command post in the Grishino area, in the Donetsk People's Republic. Command posts are the nerve centers of the battlefield. They coordinate artillery, reposition troops, issue orders, and manage drone operations. Reports indicate the fab bomb struck directly on the building used for command operations. The structure collapsed instantly, burying equipment, documents, and personnel. With this strike, Russia signaled that its bombardment campaign wasn't slowing down, it was accelerating. Each of these hits, Huliaipole, Vilcha, Konstantinovka, Grishino, fits into a larger pattern, a systematic attempt to break Ukraine's defensive depth by eliminating its core infrastructure. To understand why these strikes are so effective, we need to examine the weapon behind all this destruction. For decades, FAB bombs were basic dumb bombs used only when aircraft could fly directly over targets. The war in Ukraine forced Russia to reinvent them. Enter the UMPK module, a foldable wing kit with satellite guidance that transforms a simple iron bomb into a glide bomb capable of traveling 50 to 70 kilometers from the point of release. This allows Russian aircraft to strike from deep inside friendly airspace, staying out of range of most Ukrainian air defenses. A FAB 500 hits with around 250 to 500 kilograms of explosives, enough to flatten buildings, trenches, and reinforced positions. A FAB 1,500 packs more than 600 kilograms of explosive material, sending shockwaves through concrete and underground bunkers. And the larger versions, like the FAB 2000, can level entire blocks if used against densely built structures. These bombs are difficult to intercept. They have no engine heat signature, glide silently, and descend in unpredictable arcs. Even advanced systems like Patriot struggle to lock onto them reliably. Perhaps most importantly, they are cheap, far cheaper than cruise missiles. Russia can deploy dozens per day without worrying about production shortages. This combination of affordability, destructive power, and long-range precision is why they're being used so aggressively now. 7 strikes in 6 days, all using the same family of weapons. The pattern is unmistakable. Russia is leaning heavily on FAB bombs to shape the battlefield before winter operations intensify. Huliaipole's defenses are being worn down ahead of a looming offensive. Vilcha's drone control hub was erased. Konstantinovka lost a vital ammunition depot. Grishino's command post was neutralized. And so long as FAB bombs keep raining down, Ukraine will continue facing some of the most devastating strikes of the war. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.